So this is your control panel for a Zoom 1218. It's broken down into 5 quadrants. The top quadrant is your temperature control function keys. The last 4 quadrants are identical and they each represent a deck. So this is deck 4, deck 3, deck 2, and deck 1, of course. Each quadrant has an up and down arrow on both steam and clock. So this is steam in seconds, this is clock in minutes, and if we want to go up, naturally it's just up arrow. If we want to go down with our time, it's down arrow. When we want to steam the deck, we press the steam button and it'll steam for whatever time. Clock is the same, up for clock, down for clock, press the clock button, the timer starts. When the oven's beeping, you come back and you turn the timer off.
Will the timer just go indefinitely until you hit it?
The timer will run forever until you hit it.
Okay.
Up on your first quadrant, the top window is the temperature inside the oven. The bottom window is your set point. Yep. So right now we're set for 240 Fahrenheit. It's at 168 and climbing. When it reaches your temperature, the oven does automatically stop the burner, and it sits at your set temperature.
Okay.
And if the temperature drops down a little bit from your set point, the oven automatically turns the burner back on and heats it back up again.
Yeah.
Just like your oven at home.
Yeah.
Okay. This button here is for your hood fan. You press that, the little light indicating the function's on, and you can hear the hood fan running.
When is that? If I'm baking, do I have the hood fan on, or what's the?
No, normally you always bake with the hood fan off.
Okay.
If you find that you're billowing a lot of smoke from the baked goods, like you open the door and you get a big waft of steam from the breads or the cookies or whatever you're baking, and you find it's clouding up the bakery, then turn the hood fan on. Otherwise, practice is leave it on.
Okay.
Okay. This is your light button, and so again, when the little white LED in that button, if that's on, that function's on. If it's off, that function's off.
Yep.
This is your light bulbs. On, off. This button is irrelevant. This is for a damper, which the factory did not insert into the ovens. These ovens are supplied with mechanical dampers that open and close, not automatic dampers. The company wanted to keep simplicity, reliability, and didn't want to put extra gizmos.
Is it closed damper?
And in is closed, out is open.
Okay. And that's important when we inject the steam, that it's closed, or else we just lost all the steam, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
If your damper is open and you steam the deck, you've wasted all that steam. It'll go up the flue and outside.
Okay. Is it does it go up the vent or the chimney?
That's correct. It collects in the. You have a connection between the dampers on the deck, the hood, and the canopy fan.
Yeah.
They're all linked together, and when you open the damper, you have a little bit of velocity going up that hood fan.
Yeah.
Even if it's not running, it's an open port to the outside,
Okay.
and it will slowly draw your moisture out.
Okay.
If you turn the fan on, it'll draw the moisture out very, very quickly.
If I have damper open
If you have
and
the
fan,
damper open and the fan on, it'll suck that moisture out.
it'll be bone dry in there.
Bone dry in there. If you want to just leisurely vent your deck, just slowly let the moisture escape as you're baking, then just pull the damper and leave the hood fan off.
Okay.
Okay. This is your burner button. It is always on. Your burner is controlled by your top and down temperature selectors, okay? If you turn the burner button off, you will lock out the burner, and even if it's calling for heat, it won't come back on.
Okay.
So always leave your burner button on. This button is for a beeper, which again is not irrelevant. The factory designed this panel many years ago. Both of these functions, they decided not to input, so they are irrelevant buttons.
Yeah.
Okay. Your last button is the clock. So this clock is for auto startup. So if you hit the down arrow of temperature and the clock together, hold for 10 seconds, and you will display the time and the date. So it'll be like 3 p.m. on a Friday. And then you can set your time just like your radio clock.
According to like corresponding to which ones are flashing, right? Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And then if you press your temperature up arrow and the clock and hold that for 5-6 seconds, it'll show the time and day, and also startup time for your
starting up the next
for
day.
the next day. So it'll say 5:02 a.m. and over here you'll have a number. Mondays 1, Tuesdays 2, Wednesdays 3, Thursdays 4, Fridays 5, and so on.
Yeah.
And what you can do is you can scroll through each day and set up when your oven will automatically come alive, even if you're asleep.
Yeah.
When you're done at the end of the day with your bake, you press the clock button and it'll activate, your oven will go to sleep and it'll activate your auto startup time.
Okay.
And then the oven will automatically start up at whatever time you set the next day.
Yeah.
Okay? If you want to, when you come to your oven in the morning, it's already fully awake, it's heated up, and then your panel will look like this.
Okay.
Okay? If you want to shut the oven off and say, I don't want it to start up tomorrow, I just want a day off and I don't want the oven to come alive while I'm asleep, then you just press the stop button in, it locks in, and the oven stays dormant and it doesn't start itself up.
Yeah.
To start this up from this point, you can't pull the button out, you twist it.
Okay.
So you twist it, it releases,
Yep.
and everything comes alive.